Oh, hey. Today we're going to be redoing this old chair frame. I picked up a pair, I think it was at a garage sale. They were just giving it away because all the straps that went across, they were those thicker, kind of a hard plastic straps that did a weave pattern. They were rotten and coming apart, so they just gave me the frames. And they're good solid metal frames, so figured it'd be too bad to waste them, so I picked them up and I designed a pattern that I wanted to design with, I call it craft cord. I got a couple different colors, teal and tan. They're made by Bonnie. They're the 6mm craft cord, 100 yards. And I designed a pattern. I measured across here and from here to here to here to get the dimensions, and then I made a design on my computer. I don't know if you can see it here. I designed it to make it kind of look like a soccer pattern. So this is kind of like a close-up to where you got the horizontal lines and the vertical lines. And I'm doing the vertical in the teal and the horizontal in the tan. So I counted over how many I needed underneath, and then the tan goes up over top of these, and then it goes back under, and so forth. And I counted all those, and I calculated each row after counting them all. Looking back at the project, after completing one of the chairs, I realized next design is probably going to be a lot simpler than this because it took a long time. So anyways, this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. First, I like to sear the edges so they don't unravel on me. And I'm going to be starting down in the bottom left-hand corner. So first we have to start with a knot. And once you have that knot secure, you'll run the cord behind. Well, I had to put this dowel here because this bar is up farther up the back. And I didn't want to go from there to here or else it'd be down on an angle, so I clamped this dowel here first. And this used to have another piece in here. I just took the grinder and cut that off. So anyways, we're here. I put this so I could go behind this, come up here, and now you come over the front of it, you make a loop, you come down behind with this closer to the side of the chair, and the new cord, the continuing cord, goes on this side, and then you put it behind and then between this cord and the side of the chair. Then you put your hook in and you pull that until it just stays there, and then you go back down underneath and back to the front. Back down behind the dowel, or if there's a bar across the back, then you don't have to use the dowel. Obviously, I just had to because this bar was up too far. So when you come back to this one, of course you come on this side, make sure that the continuing cord is always on the inside, and then you go But this time, when you go around with the loop, you come up through the center of the two. And then you grab your other hook, stick that in there, and then pull to keep that one from unraveling. And then you go back underneath and then back up. And this is where the pattern starts to repeat itself. From there all the way to here to the other side of the chair, it's just nothing but rinse and repeat. So I'll just put that on time lapse until I come to the other side here and show you how to tie that off. So where you come back up, come around the back. Now you're going between these instead of on the inside. And from the rest of them, from here on out, you go in between the two. And then from here, you just grab that loop, you pull it through this one, and then you pull that back down and let that rest. And then you just keep doing that on the top and back on the bottom. And just rinse and repeat. And don't pull it so tight that it's really taut, and don't leave it so loose as to just have it sag. So you just kind of want it in between there. You'll get a feel for it. But now it's back down to the bottom. In between, grab that loop, pull it through. And as we can see, we don't have enough cord to make it back around and tie it off here. So what we have to do down here, the very end one, is to, before we run it back up to the top, just grab the last piece, pull it all the way through. So it creates that knot at the back, and then you go all the way up to the top like you would before. And you'd make a loop like you normally do, but instead of going through the center on this side, you go on the very end of this one. So you pull that through, finishing that knot, coming back around the top, and then pulling that all the way through. And then I like to go around the back. And then making a knot in the back, finishing that off. And you can make another knot if you want to. You don't really have to, just to keep it in there farther. I like to, just for extra measure. And then you can cut it off here. And then burn this end. And as you can see, it doesn't really line up from here to here. So then you just work it around a little bit until they look about even. twist these knots down, squeeze them a little bit tighter. Now they're even on both sides on the bottom, and you can do the top. Now that the easy part is done, this is where we need to follow the pattern instructions and weave them in and out of here to make this pattern. So whatever pattern you come up with, you need to count how many vertical and how many horizontal ones to make the pattern. And then it's just the monotonous, tedious task of weaving it back and forth all the way to the top to make the pattern. Like I said, this is where the difficult part begins, because this is the very time-consuming part of the whole deal, is the pattern part. So here we go. Got my pattern here. I'm just going to start off with the same thing by a little square knot here. Unfortunately, with this pattern, it's pretty complicated, so I'm going to have to pretty much unravel this whole thing and string one at a time throughout the whole thing. So here we go. And according to the pattern, I come in 6, I skip 1, do 5, skip 1, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, blah blah blah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip 1. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to pull it all the way through. And once you get all the way through this side, come over the top. Make sure this is back over the top, not underneath. And then go back through whatever pattern you got. Mine is the same exact pattern as the last time. And then pull all that all the way through until the loop is right here. And then, like the first rows, this one tucks under and goes on the inside. Pull these tight. And same thing on the other side. You make the loop. Go underneath. This time go through the center. And this hook will hold that. Now the next row is going to be different. There's 5, skip 1. 7, skip 1. 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just one different from the last one. Now we're back on the other side with the loop over. Bring it through the inside. And just like the one above, pull it through. Tighten it up a little bit. And now it's just repetitive, so I'll just put it on time lapse and we'll go from there. And we are down to the last row. So measure off one more. Give yourself 8-10 inches. And then feed it through the last loop, and I'll show you what to do at the end here. You feed it back through like you're just doing a regular row. Through, come back around, and then pull this one through. Around back. Stuff it down in there and just make another knot. Cut off your excess and then burn your end. And to straighten things up a bit, I like to push all this back a little bit, make it uniform, both sides. Before, after, before, hey.